bridge your knowledge to success.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to Aditya Kehte Hain. Today's guest is Mr. Professor Ved, CEO of Vedx, an educator on a mission to make math a superpower for kids worldwide. With over 100,000 students impacted across 15 plus countries and the upcoming American Math Genius Award on 11 May 2025, Professor Ved is revolutionizing how students fall in love with maths. So let's get started, sir. Professor Ved, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here.
And thank you, Aditya. Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine. I'm especially excited because, my whole mission of life is to nurture, shape, and help young people. And I'm so glad to see that you, at this age, you're already making such a big difference by inspiring a lot many people. So I'm especially excited to be here. Thank you.
Yes, it's an honor of mine to have you here. And obviously, it's a hobby of mine to just spread your message and great people's story across the world. So, Professor Ved, you have taught around 100,000 children globally. What inspired you to make math exciting and accessible for kids?
Right. So now I take math education as the fundamental way to plant the seed of self-dignity and confidence in humanity. And I see that as a much bigger mission than just mastering any other subject, any other language. You tell me that when you grew up in the classrooms, did you not think that if you are able to solve a math problem, you were the coolest dude in the town on that day, isn't it? So it's all about developing such high self-dignity, such high self-respect that, every child brims with that confidence when they go through the school, rather than the fact today is maximum number of students, and especially maximum number of girl students, they run away from math. Yeah. Some hate math, some cry when they face algebra or they face the more difficult concepts. So the situation should have been the opposite. And I believe that with all my experiences, I had the formula, the secret, the proven way where every child could fall in love with math, develop a greater sense of confidence, and hopefully develop as a much more deeper thinker. I'm not saying that everybody has to pursue math. Everybody has to pursue STEM. No. You pursue what your heart tells you to pursue. Yeah. But do not be afraid of a subject which is as fun, which is as amazing, which is and as interesting as any other subject. And on top of it, it makes you a much better human being because it allows you to think more deeply, your logical skills enhance, and you have a lot of lateral thinking, critical thinking. So wherever you go, whichever field you choose, you are bound to do much better, right? Yeah. So that is why math is the mission of my life. Math is the mission of Vedx, my team, everybody.
Yeah, personally, I also love maths. I am preparing for IIT, where you're also from IIT Bombay. And moving on from IIT Bombay to Stanford, teaching across continents, how did your global experience shape the unique approach behind Vedx?
Aditya, it had a lot to do with my experience. So I have lived in 5 countries. I grew up in India. I went to IIT Bombay. We all know the rigor, the discipline, the whole world goes through the pinnacle of discipline, right? Your schedule is set. Now, on top of that, to make my life difficult, I never went to a coaching class. So I was doing it all, fighting it all on my own, right? So you can imagine that your discipline has to be even higher.
Yeah.
It has to come from inside, and you got to go. And that's the approach I learned when I was preparing for IIT, and I made it to IIT Bombay. But I have also lived in England. I've also lived in France. I've also lived in Switzerland, and I've also lived in the US. Now, here is the deal. When I went from India to the UK, and when I interacted with more people just like me, I realized that they were not just under pressure to solve a question. They sought deeper conceptual understanding of things
Yeah.
without any pressure. And so they invested a lot of time and they had a lot of fun. And I think I was very, very impressed with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are many aspects. When I grew up in India, I never had exposure to the real thing that we were talking about. Even if we spoke about a few things like car engines or combustible engines, we never went to actually look under the hood of a car, and professor never took us saying that, look, here it is, and these are the parts, or let's go to this museum, let's figure this out, this is how it was invented, this is how it worked. Nope. But when you go to the West, the education is more about exploration, more about fun, more about understanding, not just about the pressure, not just about a time-bound event and the clock is ticking and you got to put yourself in a mold, which is almost the mold of a saint.
Yeah.
Now, then both of that were combined in my approach. So today, what we do at Vedx is we bring the discipline and effort of the East, the focus of the East, and we bring the curiosity, we bring the open-ended nature of learning, deep conceptual understanding of the West. And then when we bring that together, I think we are creating a much better version of human brain within all these students. So
Yeah.
they are able to put that discipline, they are able to bring that nature of deep conceptual understanding. That's what we need. And I think when this gets put together, every child then has the potential to become a genius, a math genius.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The children around me, I'm preparing for JEE as well. And the children around me are devoid of any passion towards mathematics, although they are great problem solvers. And I don't doubt that they will be successful in the future. The thing is, if you don't have a passion for the things you're studying from an early age, at an older age, you're going to get burnt out. And I think these problems are not getting solved here. And we are just investing into problem solving instead of understanding the topics. Which is
Very
a
well
really
said.
great
Very
thing
well
about it.
said. Very well said. Yeah.
Yeah. So Vedx's math genius programs are like transforming students around the world. Can you share a student story that deeply moved your heart or showed remarkable change?
See, there are countless stories, Aditya, and that's why I believe in this mission as much as I do, right? The countless story. So there is a story of Sehaj Randhawa. He's in Seattle, and he is a grade 4 student. He would, he has shared with me, through a video, a nice video that, he was struggling with math and getting C plus and D plus in math. He was down and disappointed. His parents were down and disappointed. They joined this program, luckily. And then he says, and he's so happy, and he says that today I get A plus.
Yeah.
And Sahaj is not the only one. There is a clean from Toronto. She would guess the answer and she would get it wrong most of the time. And that was in grade 5. She would just guess. If you gave her that, could you tell me what 520 plus 360 would be? She would guess. And it wouldn't be right because math is not about guessing. It's about correctness. That's what it is about. And today, after 2 years of the program, she's one of the brightest minds. She wouldn't get any answer on calculation. Forget about calculation. The way she would explain a complicated concept in statistics or algebra would even put grade 12 students to shame. Okay? So there are, and then, there are other many students. One student, Malach, and he was very weak. I mean, grade 2, he was very weak in math, didn't like math much. But one thing he had, his family was from, I think they had emigrated from Africa.
Yeah.
And one thing he had a lot of stamina to put hard work, right? So in our program, you're actually requested to put given amount of time every day. And he took it by heart. And every day he would put 1 hour in practicing the simple concepts that act like the foundation building block for math.
Yeah.
And within a year, he's topping leaderboards, and his teachers are telling tales of his smartness in his school. And think about what his mom and dad must be thinking right
Yeah.
When a child becomes smart and sharp and does well in academics, you have no idea. And I mean, unless you become a parent, you have no idea how much satisfaction and how much peace and how much pride it brings to the parent, right? So there are countless such stories, Aditya. I've just told you 3.
Yes.
This is truly changing the world at the grassroots level, transforming lives, across the country in the US and Canada. Yeah. And this is such a pleasure, such an honor, at least for me, to see this happening, witness this happening, all these students, trying to, wake up and then actually growing towards their true potential. That's so amazing to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And you're a great teacher for bringing such a change. I've never studied from you, but I can still say, looking at the results, that you're a great teacher. Now, what makes Vedx, your methods, different from traditional math coachings, especially for students preparing for competitive exams like AMC or math counts?
Now, here's the deal. When you have to, let us say, you want to, and I'll take an analogy here, when you have to participate in a race, right? When you have to participate in a race, if the coach is only worrying about you winning the race, then the coach is not doing a good job.
Yeah.
So the coach's job is not to make you win the race. The coach's job is to develop those traits in you, those habits in you, nurture those positive mindset in you that you can then develop yourself by putting everything together into a winner in the race, right? And therefore, when it comes to Vedx, AMC is a goal. I would be happy if our students score really well in AMC. We provide guidance. Math Count and several other such competitions, top math competitions, international Olympiads, is a goal.
Yeah.
I wouldn't deny that, but that's not the primary goal. The primary goal is very simple. Our approach takes components of cognitive science, takes components of behavioral science, and puts math at the center, and then say that, hey, can we develop a culture where the student starts enjoying math, enjoying concepts, and then to begin with, in America, only 30% of students are at the grade level. 70% are below grade level, which means that if you are in grade 4, you can't do grade 4 math. 70% people cannot do grade 4 math.
That is
all right,
astounding.
and I don't think this is just only the story of America. It is story of most of the countries, right?
Yeah.
Barring a few who have taken math as the focus, math and STEM as the focus. So coming back to this situation, I believe our program, the basic direction, I think, is right. It is to enable fundamentals of how you enjoy math, how you put time every day. Yeah. And is there, learning is always at the boundary of the comfort zone. Learning is not something you say, hey, you know what, I'm going to enjoy today doing math like I enjoy Minecraft. This is never going to happen, no matter how much gamification you can put. Why? Because you have to learn something. The brain has to try something. If brain doesn't try something, it doesn't bend, it doesn't expand. So it is always going to be at the boundary of a comfort zone. You're preparing for a test, IIT exam. You have to learn new concept. It burns energy cycles in our brain. So I don't think, we can say that, you can come and just have fun because I have made this in a gamified way.
Yeah.
I have to make it in gamified way, but we try to create an environment around the student. First parents, and then we dedicate a Vedx coach. Every single day, Vedx coach keeps in touch with the child. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
The class is only for once in a week we do class because, we can't teach too many things. We will be running too fast. So we have to go at a pace, but the coach is in touch every day, figuring out, giving motivation, giving an encouragement every single day, right? Imagine you have somebody who is checking on you every day about how is your preparation going on? Do you need any help? Can I do something for you? So you may not need help because you're already a very smart student, but the feeling that you have somebody who cares for you,
Yeah,
gives you extra energy to continue going on, right? So there are basic fundamental approaches that Vedx brings to the table, and that leads to an enhanced performance in math, enhanced math skill sets in children, and then may come AMC, may come math counts, may come other tests, school tests, other competitions. It doesn't really matter,
yeah.
right? That's your playground. Yeah.
That's really interesting. So basically, giving empowerment on a daily basis to study, and I think this is really interesting and isn't emphasized other places. What kind of long term impact do you hope the Math Genius Award has on the future of education in North America? Your award, you're starting on May 11th. What kind of impact do you envision it will have?
So here's the deal, okay? So before I mention about America's Math Genius Awards and what
Yeah.
amazing thing it is going to do in the future, look at this. 50 million students in the US in middle school and high school. 50 million. How many participate in the national math competition, which is called AMC, American Math Competition, which leads you to, which gives you an opportunity to represent the United States in the international Olympiad tests. So that is AMC, and then students are chosen. But guess how many apply for AMC? How many appear for AMC test? Only 300,000, less than 1%.
Yeah.
And in that 300,000, who will get an award? Only 2%.
Yeah.
2% of 1%. Okay.
Yeah.
So is it fair for a country to recognize such a small number of students and then say that we are going to bring change where most people and most kids will start liking STEM and liking math? You understand that part? I know exclusivity has its place, but encouragement
And
has and
recognize.
should have much bigger place,
Yeah.
right? And therefore, America's Math Genius Awards, tries to not act at, grade 10 and grade 12. It tries acting at grade 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, those foundation years. It identifies the students with the right kind of mindset, families with the right kind of mindset, who are putting effort, who are doing projects, who are showing long-term commitment of developing the math skills.
Yeah.
And only when you encourage that level, you can start a revolution.
Yeah.
Right? So I hope that America's Math Genius Awards, starts a revolution in terms of encouraging math and STEM education in the US and in Canada in the coming years. And I hope it contributes in a much larger way
Yeah.
than what is the status today.
Yeah. Providing encouragement and empowerment might just be the thing that is missing in America for students to truly understand math on a deep level. What Now moving on, what 2, 3 tips would you give to students who want to become confident and skilled in math?
Yeah, I think this is very important. I would like your viewers to, if they are listening to this, I would like you to amplify this message, at least follow this in your family, and share with your friends. Share not in terms of social media, share. You can talk about it, you can explain it whenever you get a chance to talk to people, and I'm sure this will bring a lot of good to many people. Okay, so my dear geniuses, you were born to be a genius. That is it. That's one. Second, you can become a genius if you put a fixed amount of time, especially math genius. No, in every area it will work, but in math, you have to spend 30 to 45 minutes, a fixed amount of time. The way you take breakfast every day, the way you take lunch every day, the way you get up every day, the way you do a few things every day, math has to become a part of your life. You want to become a math genius. 45 minutes of your own time, not that I did math in school or I attended this class. Your own little personal secret time in doing math. Bring that consistency, and your brain is suddenly going to figure it out. It will start developing a certain set of neural network which will expand, and that will become your internal, even more powerful than AI hardware, that will handle all the math stuff for you. That is number one, right? And number two, expose yourself to a lot of math stuff, okay? Expose yourself. You go ahead and participate in competitions, see what other guys are doing. Do not just be in your own world. Participate with the community, get some exposure, you will definitely grow. And number three, math sometimes will look difficult, sometimes will look easy, right?
Yeah.
And it is natural for you to be disappointed sometime. But here is the deal. That is how the life is also going to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes difficult and sometimes easy. So what you do in math is what you can use in life as well. Never get disappointed. Have a growth mindset that this is not an obstacle for me. This is just a math problem. This is just another area, opportunity for me to grow my mind.
Yeah.
When it comes to life, opportunity for you to grow your life. That is how it is. So three advice, keep it close to your heart. Practice every day. Expose yourself to a lot of other community events related to math. And third, have a growth mindset.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm sure you're going to do very, very well.
That's excellently surmised. And math, like everything in the world, is something that if you practice sufficiently enough every day for a certain period of time, you will get good at it. And testing yourself and solving extremely hard problems gives you a sense of satisfaction that sometimes you can't find anywhere else. And what makes life fun is that it is challenging. And if you can solve every problem that comes your way, then it will all become boring at the end of the day. So this is really interesting. And for parents at home, how can they create a environment where how can they nurture a love for math at home, just like you do through your programs?
Yeah, so that is also a fundamental part of our program. It is not, we do not connect just with the student, we connect with the family. So when somebody enrolls, a family enrolls in our program, not just the child.
Yeah.
Because the effect of parents is 100 times more than the effect of a teacher. And this is a saying, old saying from India, by the way, and I love this saying. The effect of parents is 100 times more than the effect of a teacher. So we got to bring parents and make them an important part of the process if we want a fundamental transformation in the child.
Yeah.
So the first thing that parents must do is that they shouldn't worry about how their child performed in a test or in a competition. They should get great satisfaction if they know that my child spent 1 hour on math today. That's it. So celebrate the effort. Take peace and satisfaction from the effort. And do not just praise the performance or berate the performance. Don't worry about 80% or 90%. I'm pretty sure that 70 will become 80, 80 will become 90, 90 will become 95. And there is no doubt about it. If you start celebrating the effort, taking peace and satisfaction that my child, you know what? Let's have tea together because today he or she practiced 1 hour of math. So today is good, right? That's one. That has to be developed. Okay, and that is the main message. Second is that again, help the child explore the world, not just the books. Help the child. So that creates watch movies based on maths, watch documentaries based on math, go out if there is an event and participate and help your child see what you can do. Do not just take a passive position. Try to explore together. Okay, we all are here for a very short time. So explore together, you will enjoy. And the third thing is also important that sometimes I've seen that going gets tough because the child is just a child. It's a human brain, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years human brain. They are still learning the ways of life. So sometimes will be, some days will be sunshine and some days it will rain. And some days there will be when the child says that, I'm finding it very difficult, I'm not in a mood, I will do it later, and, this is getting a little overwhelming, and those times will come.
Yeah.
For parents, it is important that accept that as a part of the process and support the child and start all over again. Do not get irritated. Do not lose patience. Do not lose hope just for a day because you are building a life and it takes time, right? So please be supportive and patient with the child and come back again, come back again, come back again. If you have the unstoppable, never yielding attitude, I'm pretty sure you will give the same attitude to the child and your child is going to do real well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, Aditya, I think there are three things I would like them to practice. A, please praise the effort, focus on the effort, find pleasure from the effort. Number one. Number two, help the children, help your child explore the outside world and get involved. And number three, it's a long-term game. Believe in your child, believe in your child, believe in your child, and get back to it again and again and again. Yeah, these are the three.
That's excellent advice, and I think parents, if they follow this, I think there are lots of children that are going to have their lives impacted from this advice. And lastly, as a teacher and as a guru, as an educator across many countries, you have taught so many children. What is your advice? One piece of advice for all the people watching, not to, be it parents, students, or teachers, or anybody. What is your advice?
Well, I believe that the only one advice I can give right now is that there are a lot of children, okay? There are a lot of children in this world, right? They've not reached the potential because there was, they needed somebody in their family, in their community, in their network to come and show them the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So please be that person. Show children the way. Yeah. Show them the way that, hey, you know something, you can be the best brain on the planet. You can achieve your potential. And the best way to do that is not just to dream about it, but take out a little bit of time. Whatever you want to learn, you want to,
So
yeah.
that was a really interesting advice, and thank you for sharing. And I believe showing and giving guidance to the young youth of of the world is around us is one of the basic responsibilities that we are born with, and I think this is really this is really important. And moving on, Professor Ved, thank you for leading a global movement for math, to make math interesting and joyful. So to everyone watching, visit professorved.com on to enroll to his program, Vedx's Math Genius program, and or nominate a student to win the American Math Genius Award on May 11, 2025. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing. Sha for now. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.